Hello, my name is Tzvi Karpel from Daughters of Israel, and I'm going to share some words of Torah from this week's Parsha of Chukas. We read in the Torah, God spoke to Moshe saying, "Take the staff and gather together the assembly, you and Aaron your brother, and speak to the rock before their eyes that it shall give its waters. You shall bring forth for them water from the rock and give drink to the assembly and to their animals." Moshe took the staff from before God as he had commanded him. Moshe and Aaron gathered the congregation before the rock, and he said to them, "Listen now, O rebels, shall we bring forth water for you from this rock?" Then Moshe raised his arm and struck the rock with his staff twice. Abundant water came forth, and the assembly and their animals drank. Our commentators differ as to what exactly the sin was that prevented Moshe and Aaron from going into the Holy Land. Rashi, for example, says the sin was simply that Moshe struck the rock instead of speaking to it as he had been commanded. The Rambam Maimonides focuses on his anger when he said, "Listen now, O rebels." The people of Israel felt that Moshe reflected the feeling of God, that God was angry at them, and Moshe was conveying that feeling, which simply was not true. The Ramban Nachmanides says that the sin was when they said, "Shall we bring forth water?" implying that Moshe and his brother had the power to bring forth water from the rock, which simply was not so. It was God's power. And finally, the Abarbanel takes a much different approach. He says that the sin goes back to two incidents that they were involved in. First, Aaron was involved with the sin of the Egel HaZahav, the golden calf. As we know, he helped form an idol that some of the people worshiped. And when Moshe came down with the tablets from Sinai, he smashed them, and that he had to go through quite a period of tshuva, repentance, for God to forgive him and the people. And the second incident was, of course, with Moshe himself in regard to the Meraglim, the spies that he sent into the land. And the command from God was shlach lecha anashim, send forth yourself. This implied that God gave permission to Moshe to send in the men to spy out the land. However, he left the decision to Moshe himself. We know that this caused there was the 10 spies that came back from the land with a negative report, and it caused the people to rebel and complain to the point that they even wanted to return to Mitzrayim, to Egypt. And we know that the punishment was severe, that God said you have to wander through the wilderness for 40 years, and you will die out there, and a new generation, and only a new generation, will merit going into the Holy Land. This is a pivotal incident in the Torah, and Moshe and Aaron, the great leaders of the people, were prevented from going into the land and leading the people into the promised land. Thank you for listening, and have a good Shabbos.